All right, thank you, Craig. Well, according to a new study by Tourism Economics, Colorado Springs and the Pikes Peak region lag way behind in the amount we spend on tourism advertising. We rank 19th out of 20 comparable markets. Now, to understand that ranking, let's break this study down point by point. It says that the current advertising budget for the Colorado Springs Convention and Visitors Bureau is $3.4 million a year. Well, the study suggests that it should actually be $8.2 million. To fill that gap, the Visitors Bureau suggests a tax increase to lodgers and automotive rental tax. Fox 21's Cody Fisher has more on this story. Cody?
Joe, an increase to the Lark Tax wouldn't impact locals. It only impacts visitors who stay in hotels or rent cars. Now, both the Visitors Bureau and local tourism hotspots say any increase that helps the advertising budget is greatly needed.
Funding level that the Convention Visitors Bureau has been at has been flat for years, and a lot of that stems all the way back to the early 90s when the state got out of funding tourism.
The owner of the Ghost Town Museum says while funding stays the same, costs keep increasing.
Whether it's internet advertising, print advertising, you name it, every bit of that is costing more than it did 20 years ago.
Chelsea Offit from the Visitors Bureau says the lack of funding makes advertising the Pikes Peak region hard.
For example, we do no television right now just because we aren't able to be in larger markets with our dollars like Chicago, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles. We would love to get into some of those markets.
That's where the Lark Tax increase comes into play.
We take some of those dollars and get a lot more exposure and awareness for Colorado Springs and the region.
Which she says would help us bring even more money into Colorado Springs.
For every dollar that we invest in marketing the region, we get $60 back here to the community. So the bottom line is tourism funding makes for an excellent return on investment.
Clearly, it's good for us if we can, if they can make some of these numbers work to move the needle a bit, and see if we can't manage to generate some additional people visiting this community.
And right now, Colorado Springs brings in $1.3 billion from tourism, and that supports 17,000 jobs. With an advertising budget increase, the Visitors Bureau says we would bring in an additional $250 million and add at minimum 1,400 jobs. Now, the Lark Tax increase is in the early stages and most likely wouldn't come to vote this year. Lauren, back to you.